Hey guys, Gap here with an update on silver, gold, copper, all that good stuff like commodities. And yeah, check out the video yesterday on platinum palladium. Again, I think this is it for the two metals. We've been waiting a long time, and again, I think this is with a very high percentage. This is the moment for these two guys. So check it out. It's still very, very valid. It's only 24 hours old, so. And also, if you're not a subscriber, consider trying it out. Again, you can see the updates coming out every day on various things. Um, and again, personally, I think you will benefit from it. So let's dive in here. Before we go, uranium update just released. You can check it out as well. Um, Key moment here for the URA divided by the URN, U dot UN. We are basically here. If you look at this, chart, the white one here, we are basically there. That's there. Interesting, because that is the bottom confirmation we could get tomorrow. We could get tomorrow. How is my Bollinger Band looking? I love, yeah, it's so good. Look at the Bollinger Band here. We're basically sitting here, massive resistance in the ratio. But if it can pop, yes, we are ready and fully positioned, more or less, more or less. Good. 2 hourly here, silver. Yes, we have the list here. Let's go through it. Focusing on the short, what has recently happened and what is important. And yes, yesterday, we broke the flag, hoovering, and then I said, actually, right here, again, not to on X, volatility in incoming, and we had a little pop there in 1%. So that is really good. We're breaking out from the flag, and now we are gonna challenge the big one here. If that's the case and we get the pullback and we go, silver is going into the 40s very rapidly. I don't think people are ready for that. So really cool. Gold here, again, gold is just doing the big bull flag. We called the high here, the local high, and we've been bull flagging ever since with a nice little, bottom structure internally here. Again, textbook head and shoulders, right? In my view. This one could have been a little smaller, but then the bull flag at the end. Break up neckline. What is the target? Let's check. It doesn't really matter, but can it take us out? That's the important thing. It actually can. It can actually take us out of the overall bull flag. So gold short term looks really strong as well. Long term, the weekly, the monthly looks insanely good. Daily, once we break here, also joins the party. So really interesting. And we can actually add something on top there if we want to measure something like that. That could take us to 4K, guys. If you measure from the breakout point. If you take from the lowest point of the flag, it takes us to 3,700 on gold. That's really good. Platinum, as mentioned yesterday, that candle on the daily. Yes, it's go time. And now we had a follow-up again, good volume, getting above, basically into 1 year highs at this moment. We have taken out the big one, 1,050. Yes, it's good. I think platinum and palladium is ready to rock here. Um, and again, I also released a video on the platinum miners yesterday. Um, and that one is still, even though they have moved quite a bit, it's still somewhat valid in my view on these guys. A very small market. And I didn't update on it for like a month, maybe 6 weeks, because I was waiting for this. That was my plan, and I stuck to that. So still very bullish on that part. We can do the daily here as well. Again, nothing big has happened since yesterday, but we are a continuation here. The big breakout above roughly 1K, head and shoulders at the bottom, wedge pattern. I mean, check out the video from yesterday. I will not go into further details, but I'm very bullish on palladium now and very bullish on platinum. Gold silver ratio, the gold and silver ratio. Let's remove that. It doesn't matter. And again, what we saw today during when silver did that little, volatility pop was due to this also this bear flag here, right? So we can do the measured pole there to there, and then we get to there. So we're getting down, funny enough, to the tariff breakaway on that measured move. So silver as of now It's almost, it is in a better place than gold unless we do that. Silver is the better play now. Interesting, very interesting. The Dixie here getting murdered, really, having a very hard time, and maybe I want to do this instead. Again, sometimes the chart matures. So okay. So you can see here, actually, that one was a copy, and we're hitting it there now. So Dixie still looking okay, but it needs to break that flag. It basically needs to get above 105 more or less, maybe 100 and 100.6.7. You can see it here, the big head and shoulders, the breakout, the flag now. So the Dixie is looking okay-ish, but a lot of mixed signals, and it needs to break out within May, basically. That's the only thing it has to do. Otherwise, again, I think it's gonna just slowly go down. Bitcoin Bitcoin is it tagged all-time high. It reached all-time high. Looks very, very strong still. The uptrend is fully intact, and we turned insanely bullish on that candle there because there's a trend line that for some reason is gone. But that candle, 86.5 was the big one, and we are now. And again, I didn't think it will go this fast, but we're up 25%. Let's see. Let's see. We do have, depending on how you count, 4 impulses here, which is somewhat rare. So I think that's a local high, and we're gonna at least go sideways to down for the next 14 days. That's my view, unless we can break that, unless we can get into 110,000 for Bitcoin. Then it's a different story. But I do believe we have a pause first. Oil is just all over the place. We had a little pop there. You can see it here initially. We got above the wedge pattern, which we're focusing on now. But now that little bear flag, which got negated to the upside, typically very bullish, and now we're breaking down. So oil is getting smoked. That's a very, very bad pattern, by the way. And I do believe from false breakouts, you go to the other side. So I think we're going to go from 61 down to 55, roughly. 56, 55 here. That's very, again, it needs to undo this very quickly in order to not drop like 10% here. Oh, this is bad. Okay. We have rates, the US 10-year breaking the 4.5 here, which was my level, 4.55 to be exact. Big trend line right there. This is not good. Again, we're having what could be a rate spike here. This could be the beginning of a rate spike, which will wreak havoc in my view. That's very, very dangerous what we're seeing today. Again, I'm not calling it yet here, but this was the first step to actually do a lot of damage, and you can have a rate spike, and that will not be good for anything because that is liquidity, fear, everything could get sold. Let's see. Let's see. Unless we can get a false breakout, right? That's a different story, but that channel there. So in order for this to be negated in the very short term, we have to something like this, where we have the minor uptrend for May. This is the uptrend for May. Breakout, if we backtest and break down, then the warning is very often over, or the risk is very often over because we have a false breakout and you break the channel, you break the previous trend line that we just broke. So this is scary. This is insanely scary. And that, I think also the SPY here, during the day, yeah, it had a huge turnaround. 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock, okay. Massive run here. We have a ton of the gaps. Will they get filled? I think so. They usually do. And again, until disproven, this is my local high for the SPY. So I turned very bearish today on the SPY. And the QQQ broke the uptrend from the tariffs low. That's never good. I think we are at least going to go down for roughly, what's that? 3-4% here on the QQQ. Did we touch it there if I do the lines correctly? Just want to be very, very almost. Okay. So yeah, I'm bearish here on the QQQ. Copper. Copper, what are you doing? Why are the lines not perfect? I hate that. Sometimes they change. Nope, there it is. I'm an idiot. Like that, of course. So copper, when and if we can break that trend line right down here, that is extremely bullish for copper. So basically anything north of 4.75-ish, for the next week or so is massively bullish on copper. If we can take out that little, you can see the highs here internally, plus the bigger breakout of that. Then we're gonna go to 5 again. Looks really bullish if that's the case. This chart looks like it wants to break. Again, at this moment. Coal, I have a thing for coal. Again, I'm very, very interested in the coal price because we did tag here the 4-year or 8-year trend line. We're wedging up and we have a fault breakdown, could be. So if we start to trade north of roughly 110, I become massively bullish on coal. Very bullish. That is most likely the beginning stages of a big, big, big run for coal if we have that. So look out for coal. Again, if you have some coal stocks that we need to look at, post them in the comments below because they could do a massive run here. Nat gas, this is the daily, by the way. The weekly, no, that's way too long. Nat gas here. So as long as we hold that level, which is 3, nat gas is fine. Of course, it also needs to hold the uptrend, which we are doing. So there might be something like that going on, but mixed signals now. But I'm not, totally in love with it unless we can basically clear that little trend line there. So if we can pop that, we are also going to go to like 6. So the breakout will happen at 3.5, and we could go all the way to the other side of the channel at 6. 1, 2, 3. So gas here, big moment coming up where we either run 80% or we actually puke big time and getting most likely down to there. So big, big, big volatility coming for gas. The gas in Europe has been making a head and shoulders bottom there. Very steep trendline break. So early signs of good stuff happening there, but still also you have many mixed signals. If we extend that, you can see we basically touched the supply and demand here at roughly 38. So, and in order to become, longer term bullish, we need to get above the red here. That's the long term trend line, which we're down now. We're going to back test it most likely. TLT, ooh. Together with the 10-year, you can see that that's basically the inverted 10-year breaking down. This doesn't look good. It really does not look good at all. This need to do that very quickly. Otherwise, the bonds are gonna, again, collapse is a big word, but you could see a massive puke in bonds, 10%. And in bonds, which is by far the biggest market, that is way more than $3, by the way. So interesting. This needs to rally very quickly in order to not have the bottom basically fall out here. You can do 10% in like a month. So that is all I have for today. Yeah, nothing more. Check out the uranium video. Check out the platinum palladium video from yesterday. Very valid still. And also check out my talk with Andy on his channel, YouTube. We were talking platinum, palladium, of course, gold, silver, rhodium, and a few ratios, and just having a chat with Andy. So stay safe, guys. Cheers. Bye.